How's everyone doing tonight? Mike here. So, great video for you guys. Today is actually the first day of fall, and I just want to kind of give you guys some fall mushroom foraging tips. I've been doing mushroom foraging videos off and on these past few weeks, just giving you guys some like ID tips, or maybe even some just little quick clips of a few mushrooms. And I just want to say the fall is such a good time to get out in the woods and forage. You guys should get out there if you get a chance. You know, I like to do it every year. And what I'm going to give you guys today is just a few tips, okay? And maybe what mushrooms you may potentially find in the forest right now if you go out looking here in North America, all right? Now, recently I've done videos on some polypore mushrooms. Lots of the polypores, like the hen of the woods, the chicken of the woods, the pheasant back, all these are potentially fruiting right now. Okay, so keep that in mind. Things like lion's mane, jelly fungus, all these type of oyster mushrooms, they're all potentially fruiting right now. And those are all your good edibles. Now, we should be aware of poisonous and deadly ones too. I will say the ones I'm going to go over today in this video do not have any poisonous lookalikes that we need to be concerned with. I always like to tell beginners, if you're just getting into foraging, always learn what type of like deadly mushrooms are in your area or poisonous mushrooms are in your area. Usually there's just a few, just so everyone knows. Here in North America, we only have like amanitas, a few amanitas, and gallerinas that are deadly poisonous. Okay, so if you can learn how to identify those, that's just like another feather in your hat, you know, and a good thing to be aware of, because these mushrooms, the deadly ones, they're nothing to be scared of, you know, but you just need to be aware of what's out there. You need to know how to identify them, especially if you're going to pick a mushroom that is potentially a lookalike to them. That's the main thing. But I do want to say the mushrooms I'm going to go over with you guys today, they don't have deadly lookalikes, but I'm just saying to learn your deadly poisonous species just for your own good and your own self-benefit. It'll help. But anyway, that being said, fall time. Being the fall, like I said, I always think about what season is it, because that's going to determine what mushrooms are actually fruiting, okay? Mushrooms will fruit in different seasons, and the fall is kind of cool. We have mushrooms that will come out, like I said, like the hen. It's kind of special for the fall. We get the chicken in the spring too, but you can find it again in the fall, and it's one of my personal favorites. So I like to get out looking in the fall time for hens and chickens. They're easy to find, and when you find them, you'll find a substantial amount a lot of times. So, few tips as far as looking for these mushrooms. A lot of times I like to find areas that have a lot of large hardwood trees, especially oak trees. If you can find an area that's got a lot of large old oak trees, that area may hold a lot of hen of the woods and chicken of the woods, just because the hen and the chicken parasitize large oak trees and hardwood trees. And I want to say I made great videos on identifying the hen of the woods and the chicken of the woods. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to link those in the description box below so you guys can check those out if you guys haven't seen them already. But they're both easy to identify mushrooms, and what you can do for those is you can just walk down the path or the trail, and I like to just scan, okay? Now, the hen and the chicken, both, a lot of times you will find them fruiting at the base of an oak tree, okay, or around the bottom of a large hardwood tree. So you can just kind of, like I said, walk the path, scan, look side to side, see if you see anything at the base of these trees. The chicken is bright orange, so it'll stand out, okay? And when I was saying there's no really poisonous lookalikes to these things, there could be a jack-o'-lantern, okay, but remember, the chicken is a polypore mushroom, so there's pores on the underside. The jack-o'-lantern has gills, okay? Always remember that. So you can easily, like I said, easily tell the difference between just knowing a few key identifying features. Now, like I said, scan for the base of these trees. Chicken is bright orange, so you may potentially just see it on the trail or just walk in the trail. The hen is a little more camouflaged, okay? So once you get good enough and you kind of know what tree you might find the hen by, you might just want to walk a circle around that tree. Like, let's just say you're walking a trail and you're like, hey, that looks like a pretty big oak over there. You might want to get off the trail just a little bit and go walk a quick circle around that tree and just see if you can find anything. Because there's been a lot of times I'll get off the trail, I'll just walk a quick little circle around a tree, and sure enough, man, I might find like a big hen on the other side of that thing or something, or you might find a cluster of oyster mushrooms or a lion's mane, you know, something like that. So that kind of brings me to my next thing I want to talk about. I was just talking about walking the path, scanning, looking at the base of trees for like hens and chickens, because those are two of the biggest mushrooms you'll be able to find in the fall time. Now, another mushroom that is extremely easy to spot, okay, and a great edible is the lion's mane, and you can find this one in the fall time. Now, you can find this one on a log that is like fallen over, like a tree that's fallen over and it's laying down. You might find it on a stump. You might find it on a tree standing vertically up and down, okay? But for the lion's manes, a lot of times I would just walk through the forest and I'll just scan side to side, and I'll kind of, like I said, I'll look up in the trees and stuff, and just look for like a white ball or like a white cluster or a white spherical toothed object, and you will probably see the lion's mane because it's going to be like the only white thing, you know, hanging off there. Sometimes you might find like a cluster of oyster mushrooms like that, but those are two both choice edibles you can find. Like I said, just scanning logs, scanning trees. Another one is actually the jelly fungus, okay? And the pheasant back is another one that you can just find like scanning logs. So there's lots of good edible mushrooms you can find. Like I said, just walking the path, doing a quick little scan, and you probably do pretty good just doing that. And another thing too to keep in mind is rainfall. So if you can go foraging after a rainfall, or you know, a couple days after, you might do a little bit better. I will say, even with mushrooms though, like hen and chicken, just because they're like large polypore mushrooms, I've seen them even fruit even in drought conditions, just because they're living and fruiting off the large amounts of biomass that are in the tree or the tree root system, and they're pulling moisture from that. So I've actually seen those even fruit without too much rainfall. So even if there's not much rainfall, you still may want to get in the forest and just see what you can find, because you still may have some good luck, all right? But I just wanted to cover a few of those basic tips for you guys. Like I said, always try to know like the deadly mushrooms or the poisonous mushrooms in your area. It's just a great thing to know, okay, for your own benefit. And then I always like to think about, hey, what season is it? Okay, what season am I going to go out foraging in? And then that will determine what type of edible mushrooms you're looking for. Okay, and then after you've determined what type of edible mushrooms you're looking for, always kind of think about, is there a look-alike for these mushrooms? All right, and then once you've determined that, just go out and look for the mushrooms, all right, and see what you can find. But like I said, the fall is a great time of year to get out there and just explore and see what you can get. And I hope you guys all do great. If you guys have any questions about stuff I went over today, just put it in the comment section below. I've done some really good identification videos on a lot of these mushrooms. So the mushrooms that you may potentially find in the fall that I've done identification videos on, I'll go ahead and I'll link all those in the description box below, like the hen, chicken, lion's mane, pheasant back, mushrooms like that. They're all great choice edibles that you might find in the forest right now. So keep an eye out for them. But please drop this video a like. I hope you guys all found it helpful and informative. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But that's all I got for you on this one. Good luck out in the forest out there. And until next time, I will catch you on the next one.